services. Because after all, why you are doing something? Either you are producing a product or a service. And for that, you have to do something, some operation you have to do. Like suppose you are promoting a school, then what do you need? A building, you need school teachers, you need other staffs, you need students, and these students have to be converted into a more learned person. Here you are converting some some people who don't have knowledge about something and giving them knowledge so that they come to know about it. So you are transforming. Operations means you have some input, you are transforming it, and then it is coming out as a better product. For example, if you are making shirt, then what is your input? It can be the first input is your cotton wool. Now cotton wool has to be converted into threads. From thread it is converted into cloth. From cloth it is cut into different pieces and then stitched, and finally a shirt or a garment or whatever you are producing is produced. So any operations management is a transformation. Operations management is the administration of business practices to create the highest level of efficiency possible within an organization. So what you are doing, whatever you are producing, whether it is a product or a service, you have to see that it is done in the most effective and efficient manner. What is effective and efficient? Doing the right thing in the right way. Efficient means as far as possible, wastage should be least. And you are working in the right direction. If you are doing something right in the right direction, but on the wrong thing, for the wrong thing you are working, then also you are at a loss. And if you are vice versa also, so you have to be very particular what you are doing and how you are doing it. It is not just doing it, because now it is a very competitive world. So you have to do it in the most efficient and effective manner. So here, what I had said previously, it is concerned with converting materials and labor into goods and services as efficiently as possible to maximize the profit of an organization. Naturally, if the wastage is least, the cost will also come down and the profit also will rise. So you have to do, when you are doing the conversion, the basic definition of operations management is you are converting input into output of a greater value. Naturally, your shirt is more valuable than the cotton wool which you had started with. Or a person who has gone through schooling or colleging, his knowledge will be much more than what when he had entered that premises of the school or the college or anywhere else. So it is the conversion. Operations management teams attempt to balance cost and with revenue to achieve the highest net operating profit. So it tries to balance what will be the cost and what of conversion of the raw material into the finished good. Raw material can be, if it is a service industry, it can be like, for example, in a hospital, it is the sick patient who comes in and goes out a cured man or woman. So it is the you have to balance what are the revenues you are collecting and how much cost you are inputting. So this balance you have to maintain so that your operating profit, there is operating profit. So what is company's operating profit? It is the total earnings from its core business function for a given period.
मैम एक्चुअली एक काम, स्लाइड्स चेंज नहीं हो पा रहा है।
अच्छा, स्लाइड चेंज नहीं हो पाए।
हाँ, थोड़ा सा स्लाइड्स पे एक बार देख लें।
अच्छा, एक मिनट।
हाँ, और आए।
अभी चेंज हुआ?
हाँ हाँ हाँ,
अभी yes, ma'am.
तो फर्स्ट वाज दिस।
हाँ ठीक है।
ये तो हमने समझाया ही कि
हाँ
व्हाट
हाँ
इज ऑपरेशंस मैनेजमेंट।
ठीक है।
Actually, it is nothing but the conversion of the input into output of a higher value. It can be both products or services. Initially, the word was production management. See, the same rules and regulations are even true for your producing services. That is why the word operations management has come into existence. A company's operating costs, profit is its total earning from its core business functions for a given period. So you have to balance this cost and revenue. Only if your revenue is more than your cost, then only you will make profit. Here you are not including interest or taxes. And also you are not including profits you have earned from ancillary investment. Like the business which you are looking at, the operating profit is the operations you are doing on that particular business, not from any other business. Your organization might be doing more than one business, but here operating means where you are focusing, which operation we are focusing at. So you can see what is operations management. First of all, you have to plan how to do, what to do first, what to do second, how to coordinate among the different entities which are involved in converting that input into output. So what are the resources required? Who will look after it? So what are the inputs? You have to have the right input. जैसे हिंदी में कहा भी जाता है कि बोया बबूल तो कैसे आप एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं. It is the first thing. Like when we talk about supply chain management, operations management is the heart of it. You are getting the thing from the supplier, that is the input. So you have to be very careful. Who is your supplier? What is the quality he is supplying? At what price he or she is supplying? At how whether they are supplying at the right time, whenever it is required. If you supply it when your competitors have started manufacturing it, so naturally you will be late in the race and you will not make the same profit which you could have done if you had started earlier. So right from the beginning, supply chain management means right from the supplier.
स्लाइड चेंज कर लें, एक बार देख लें, स्लाइड चेंज कर लें.
नहीं, अभी ऐसा.
अच्छा, इसमें ही है.
This is the things which is required in operations management.
Okay.
Operation management is one part of your supply chain management.
Okay.
So from supplier, it goes to the place where it is being manufactured, or the final shape is being given to that product or service. And then it goes to the warehouses, from where it is distributed to the retailers, and from retailers it goes to the consumers, final consumers. Now suppose due to one reason or other, whatever is the reason, there can be a number of reasons, the customer does not like the good. So there should be an option of returning it. And so that Like, for example, when first batch of Tata Motors had made Indica, there were a lot of problems. So they had given this option. You can send it back and that will be taken care of. Whatever was the loop problems with the vehicle, that was taken care of. So there has to be both the things. It is a moving in a circle. It comes back to the manufacturer. If they rectified, it can be destroyed and sold as scrap. It depends upon the situation. But it is not only going to the consumer, but also the return from the consumer should be there. That is a cyclic process. So it is the operation of every kind of resources. Operation management is the management one's employees and resources both, because after all, employees are also a very important resource for converting that raw material or any input into the final output and meeting the goal. Every department has its separate goals. Like human resource tries to find out the best person to finish that job. Their qualification, their experience, their nature, everything matters to convert the input into output. So that is the goal of the human resource. Marketing aims to sell and earn profit. And financial looks after the financial matters of the organization. From where to get the money to start the operation, how to utilize it, what should be the final pricing so that you make profit. So all these things, but together they try to find out the optimum output for the organization which is manufacturing. They are also each have their separate goals, but together they are integrating and trying to fulfill the goals of the organization. As the operation management, it is maximizing the efficiency of all one's company resources. You have resources like human resource, you have marketing resource, you have financial resource, but coordinating all these things so that your whatever profit you are making is optimized. Like naturally we say profit maximization and cost minimization. In other words, it wants to get the most out of one employees and resources in order to increase productivity for the company. Naturally, productivity, if it does not increase, how can they make the amount of profit they want to make? And apart from making profit, they have to look at several things, because they have to be a that product or service. And that for that, it is not only the quality, price, how you're selling them, what is your customer relationship, everything matters. Because maybe if you are selling a very good product, but your customer relationship management is not done properly, next time that customer will not return to you. So that will, you'll have to again find a new customer. And as you know, finding a new customer is 5 times more costly than retaining the old customer. So it is the employees as well as the organization has to see whatever mistakes they have made in the earlier operation, they should rectify it. So it is very necessary to get the feedback. Get the feedback, work upon it, improve wherever is there a loophole, improve and try to do a better job the next time. And today, the repetitive works can be taken up by the technology. Because see, computerization, which is the which can now we cannot think of our life without computers. But basically, I'm not talking about AI or machine learning, which is developing and which is taking up a lot of operations which were being done by human beings. They can analyze, they can find, summarize things, which was not possible earlier. But basically, 6 points were taken care of by computerization. One was data, the amount of data they could handle was much more than what a human being or even a group of human beings can, that the speed with which they can handle the data. Then repetitive. Like, for example, if I just tell you, right, I will not make this mistake again 100 times. I'm sure after some time you'll start making mistake. And you will not write the same sentence 100 times, the same sentence 100 times. I think very few people, because you get bored and it is a human nature. Fatigue. So these things will not affect computerization. So repetitive sort of a things can be done very easily with technology, with the help of technology, where analyzing and seeing how things can be done in a better way, in a more innovative way. So it can help you in decision making. It can give you support. It can give you data. It can give you information. For example, if I'm producing something, say table, so I don't want to compromise on the quality of the table. But I'm saying, suppose I'm producing n number of tables, where n is quite a large number. Now, what will happen? Suppose I save even 0.001% in each table, the quality will be not be compromised, but the cost will come down. And this calculation I can do very easily with the help of computers. You can, very simple, you can use Excel and change the value of n, change the value of dimension, and see what will be the cost of that, how much money you will require to produce it. So this way you can save upon it and increase your margin, profit margin. So it helps you in taking decision. Then you, wherever you can give very accurate input, when you are producing something, then you can give exact input. This should be the length, this should be the breadth, this should be the height, and things like that. Then you can expect a very accurate result. In, like it is said, garbage in, garbage out. So wherever you are not able to give very accurate input, exact input, in fact. Like, for example, if you are making a uh, any financial forecasting, so from where all, or for example, a budget. So you don't know exactly. You don't know. You know that this will be your revenue, and this will, from here, these are the sources of your revenue, and these are the sources of your expenditure. You have to balance this. But then there is a probability associated with each revenue. So naturally, your outcome, actual outcome, might be different. So it can help you, but it will not give you the same result when you are using it for a thing which you are producing. And lastly, number of interacting variables. Wherever there are number of interacting variables, you can get a very good result. So these 6 are the basic points on which computerization or technology helps in you getting a better result. So if the mundane work is taken up by the technological part, then the human resource is left to innovate, think, analyze. Like each one of us, we don't even know our own capacity, how we will act in future, what innovative steps will we take. You think about it. Maybe some idea will come to you and you'll work upon it and you'll reach some place where your competitors have not left. Because this is a competitive world. Everybody is trying to do better than the competitors. It is that constant game is going. We sometimes number of people come together and they go for win-win situation. Any situation which will be beneficial to all the parties. The last one I have written, an operation manager might decide to use technology as a way to do the repetitive work. That way, employees can work on something more valuable with their time. These are the kinds of decisions that an operation manager must take. So you are not bound down with the, and then there are so many mathematical models. Like we use operations research, where we take linear programming as one. It is one basic example. What you do is you take all those things which are using the same resources. For example, furniture. In furniture, you can have table, you can have chairs, you can have dining tables, you can have dressing tables, you can have crockery shelves. All are using what? Wood, machinery, same type of machinery, carpenters. So resources are the same. Then the prices of each will be different. So you have to decide how many units of each product you should produce so that your profit is maximized. Now, doing this is not a very difficult job, but manually you can do at the most 2 or 3 products. But in actual life, you are producing so many types of products. Only thing, n is not infinite. Still, date we have not come to that point. Even our computer memory, we have mapped the infinite numbers into a finite space. And that is why in computers you'll find it is written in this way. It is something point something. Like, for example, in real life, between 0 and 1, there can be infinite points. So even then, even now, we have not produced that computer which will take all the infinite numbers. So it has got certain limitations. Maybe I don't know what will happen in the future. Maybe the artificial intelligence or machine learning, because they can take care of this. Thus, I've said a set of activities that creates value in the form of goods and services by transforming input into output. Inputs are generally man, material, methods, and money. Outputs are goods and services. It is the organ.
My voice is not coming.
I think you logged off from the mobile.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Huh?
You can hear.
Actually, it was a phone call, na? It got disturbed. So we were talking about it is nothing but operations is what? A set of activities to create value in the form of goods and services. Because you are transforming some input into output. Input can be man, material, methods, money, even technology. It can be methods. In methods, it can come, technology can come into methods. And outputs are what? Either it will be goods or services, or it can be a combination of goods and services. Like, for example, today you buy a car, and along with that, you get the service of insurance and other maintenance. You can get the service. So it can be a combination of goods and services. So it is, as I told you, the heart of any organization. After all, the organization exists to produce something, whether it produces goods, services, or a combination of goods and services. So it is the core function. We can say other functional areas like finance, marketing, HR, they are only helping the operations to be done properly in the most effective and efficient way. And it concerns every sort of organization, big or small, manufacturing or service, profit or non-profit. Even like somebody said, even if you're doing some social service, it has to be done in the most efficient way so that whatever is required to for the benefit of the beneficiaries should reach there. It should not be wasted, or it should not be misutilized everywhere. So the business basic principles of business has to be utilized. If you want to fulfill the needs of the people for whom that thing is being produced, and not only the needs, whatever are their requirement, the features they require. Maybe if it is a car, maybe the car is otherwise very good, it's comfortable. Like for example, when people were using ambassador car, it was not a bad car, it was very comfortable car, but the look at that time, up to from that time, now the number of features have come in, and every day it is improving. But at that time also, it was not that the ambassador car was not comfortable, but the basic look of the car was not very appealing to the general public. So whatever is the requirement, those things have to be taken care of by the operation manager. So this is a pictorial view of what operation management is, the transformation process. You have input, you have transformation process, then you have output, whether it is goods or services or a combination of goods and services. Then you have to have a feedback from output to transformation, from transformation to input, and from output to input. The requirements, all this, what are the requirements, what are the lacuna, what have been missing, any sort of thing. And that is why today, whatever things you buy, immediately they'll ask you for feedback. Like, so that they can improve upon their services or their goods. So here I've given you an example of a transforming process of a canned food processor. So canned food, what do you need? Need raw vegetables. Suppose you are selling canned vegetables. Then metal sheets where you'll make the boxes in which you'll be storing that particular vegetable, water, energy of maybe electrical energy, any other sort of energy you'll be required. I'm not saying this is exhaustive. This is just an example. You can add other things also. Then processing, what you do, you buy the raw material, that is the vegetable, clean it. Then you make the cans in which it will be stored, cutting, cooking, packing, labeling. How do you preserve it? Preservative, I have not added over here, but you can add preservative also, through which you can preserve it, the temperature at which you want to keep those things, all those things, the processing you will be doing, and then the output is the canned vegetables. Now in a hospital, which is also a operation, you get inputs can be doctors, nurses, hospital, medical supplies, equipment, laboratories, like both hospital nurses and paramedical staff. These are the inputs. Through the combination of these inputs, whatever disease the man or the woman has come to the hospital should be cured, should go out in a better form. So you can have examination, surgery, monitoring, looking after how day to day the patient is progressing, medication, what medicines it has to keep, what therapy he or she has to take, and the output is your healthy patient. These are the various types of operations. Goods producing. For example, farming, you are producing vegetables or cereals. Then mining, where you are producing something, you are taking out iron or any other metal. Construction, we are making a building, a hospital, a school, or an office. Then manufacturing, where you are, for example, if you are manufacturing diesel locomotives, that is manufacturing something. You are making shoes, you are making furnitures. Then power generation, where power is being generated through, it can be hydro generation, or it can be from coal, or it can be from nuclear. So you are generating something, producing goods. Then you have operation can be storage or transportation. So here, what warehousing, what you are doing in a warehouse? You are storing the goods which were being produced in the manufacturing unit. Trucking, which is transporting from the manufacturing unit to the warehouse to the retailers. Mail service, this is also transportation. Either you are bringing the goods from one place to other, or some message from one place to other. Then delivery, suppose you have ordered something online, like we can have both the ordering and the processing that can be done online. But the delivery part of it, it depends upon the type of output. If it is a ticket, or it is some sort of a form, that can be delivered online. But suppose it is some product like a pizza, so that cannot be delivered online. It has to be delivered physically. So both delivery can be online as well as physical. The taxis, they are also taking you from one place to other. Buses, hotels, airlines, they are all either storing or transporting things from one place to other. Their operation is different. Then exchange. For example, retailing. Retailing, it is actually exchanging money for some good. From warehousing, it is coming to the retailers. The retailers also must be paying something to the warehousing and then selling it to someone else. So it is an exchange. Wholesaling, banking also is an exchange. Renting is also an exchange. Leasing is also exchange. Library, loans. So these operations are of exchanging something for the other. Entertainment, like films, radio, television, concerts, recording, all these things are what? Entertainment. It can be YouTube. Like today we are so much hooked to YouTube. This is also, okay, you learn a lot also from that. It is education as well as entertainment. Then operation can be of a communication, newspaper, radio, television, telephones, newscasts, satellites, that is communicating something to the listener or viewers. If it is radio and television, that is the viewers. If it is newspaper, somebody is reading it. So whatever is the idea of different people, it is being communicating to that. Manufacturing is what? Physical, because some input which is tangible is being converted to some other output which is also tangible. So it is physical. Then transportation is what? Locational. One place to other place. Retailing is exchange. You are exchanging the good for money. Then storage, warehousing. There, from the manufacturing, it is coming to the warehouse. where it is stored, and then it is then being sent to the retailer. From retailer, it is being exchanged for money. Then physiological, healthcare. That is physiological. Your physiological needs are being taken care of. Telecommunication is informational. Some information is being given to you. Some data is there which is being processed, and the processed data is being given to you. Then psychological is entertainment. It is helping us to feel better and also to increase our knowledge so that we feel better. So there are two types of, basically, as you can have three types, but these two are very important. Strategic decision, these are for long term, broad in scope. For example, way back in 90s, Tata Motors, which was only producing commercial vehicle, thought of making passenger cars. So it was a long-term planning. And for that, they needed both interior knowledge about their organization, what was the strength and weakness of their organization, and also information about the environment. What was the threat and opportunities present in the environment, where they could sell their product, what was the requirement of the people. But it was a long term. Then tactical decision is shorter term. For example, every organization will have different functional areas. The financial functional area, the marketing functional area, the HR functional area, the operational functional area. So to produce that, for the long term, they're producing cars. But to produce that car, what were the financial needs? How much they get? What was their capacity? They have to match their capacity and their know-how and their skills with the things they were going to produce. For each, you needed finance, you needed people with the proper know-how, for the proper qualification. So it is the duty of the HR to see if these things are met. So it is for a shorter time, for one batch. Maybe you want to do certain innovation later on. So maybe you might need people with better qualification, or you might need better technology. So it is for a shorter term. But strategic decision is for the long term. See, what are the unique features of our product that make us competitive? Here it is for a smaller, whether it is HR, whether it is marketing, the present batch which is being produced, where will it be sold, for how much it will be sold, whether they will be able to make profit or not, or cover the cost that was incurred in producing that. So this has a narrower scope, a small term. Who will work in the second shift? So these, and from here, even as the shortest is your operational, day to day, or monthly, or weekly. Who will be doing what? How the things, what the HR department will be doing today? Who will be doing what? The accountability, all these things has to be set up so that the final result is, but each one is working towards the strategic decision. That is the main goal, to produce that car of that particular shape, of the particular features, what the finance department has to do, what the HR department has to do, what the marketing, so that they get the return from the things which is being produced. What operations have to be done. So these are the four functional areas which have to work together to fulfill the strategic goal. Today, in this industrial revolution, we are at the fourth stage. Earliest, it was early use of power. Before that, things were being done manually. Like, for example, a carpenter, he made things manually. But in the first industrial revolution, power was being used, whether it was mechanical power or electrical power. So that was the first revolution, which was known as Industrial Revolution 1. Then came Industrial Revolution 2, when mass production, like you had assembly line, you are not producing one or two things. Mass production means number of things with the same features. So that was the second revolution. And the third revolution was when computing and automation came. The computing and automation, then using power, then you went for mass communication production. For example, today, because of computerization, the precision is so good that no matter from where you buy the pen drive and what is your the laptop or any other device which you are, where it will be used, it fits properly because the dimensions have been clearly defined, and because of the exact input, the output is also very accurate. So that was when, in the third industrial revolution, computing and automation came into existence. Then today we are in the fourth generation. Everything is connected to everything. Now you are talking about enterprise resource planning, where all the functional areas are integrated together, which we were doing manually. For example, any living organism, there are so many organs, but for the well-being of that organism, all the organs work together and the message passes from them. So we have now reached that stage. Whether now you are using robotics, now you are using artificial intelligence, you are using Internet of Things. So why these things? So that you are interconnected and you know exactly what to do, how to do. Only thing you need special knowledge, skilled knowledge to fulfill these needs. So this is a bit of a significant events in operations management. One of the first people to address the issue of operation management, he was not an engineer, but economist, Adam Smith. So he wrote the book, The Wealth of Nation, in which he described the division of labor. Because of this industrial revolution, this concept of division of labor who can do which job in the most efficient way. Not everyone doing everything, but concentrating on the things which one can do in the best possible way. According to Smith, if workers divided their tasks where they could produce their products more efficiently, then if the same number of workers each build products from start to finish. Like, for example, if you go to a tailor's shop, you'll see there's one man who is cutting the cloth. Then there are other men who are stitching the cloth. Then there are other people who are doing the buttonholes, hemming by hand, because they are good at that only. If you give the job of cutting to the person who is doing hemming, I think he'll do a lousy job. That is there. So division of labor is to make the whole operation more efficient. As far as possible, wastage is least and the job quality of the finished job is good. And later on, Everybody knows Henry Ford. Ford vehicles are so famous, even today they are famous. So he introduced the assembly line. Assembly line means they are moving in one line and things, whatever the chassis is made once and whatever is required is put into it. The input is not like you have two types of production. One is your product outlay, and another is the process outlay. In process outlay, each process is done at one place. Suppose, for example, if you look at, there's a very big workshop at Varanasi. I don't know how familiar you are with Varanasi, which used to produce diesel electronic locomotives. Now it is producing electric locomotives. So that is a process layout where all the drilling is done at one place, the painting is done at one place, all the other the different components are manufactured at different places, and then finally they are assembled at one place and then taken out of from the workshop. So that is a process outline. But generally, as far as automobile are concerned, they go for product layout, where they move in a single line, the chassis moves in this, and the other parts are fitted into it. So Henry Ford was the one who had introduced this assembly line. After the industrial revolution came into, like before that, as I told you, you were doing thing manually. Then machines came, energy of different sorts came, steam engine came, then electric engine came. So here the industrial revolution developed. So here, during industrial revolution, machinery allowed factories to grow in capacity. So naturally, in fact, the two world wars happened because of industrial revolution. Because once you produce something, you have to market it. And for that, it was started by uh, England, but it was a very small country. They were not able to sell everything inland in their own country. So that is why they started looking for markets outside the country, and for that they started capturing different countries, made them their slaves, sort of slaves. So because of this, and now next the industrial revolution moved to Germany, and now Germany now wanted to capture those same countries, and that is why both the world wars came into existence. Because it is not only producing, because if it has to be ongoing, that means it will depend upon how you market your product, how efficiently you not only manufacture it, but how you market the product and get the required return on the product. So initially there were a lot of inefficiency. So these two people, Frederick Winslow and Taylor, he's famously known as Taylor, and Ford, Henry Ford. These were the ones who developed scientific approach for operations, collecting data from production, analyzing this data, and using it to make improvement to operations. Later on, when the Industrial Revolution moved to Japan, they used statistical quality control, mathematical and statistical tools to improve the quality of their product. Now it is being used all over the world. The competition is increasing day by day. Ford increased efficiency in production by introducing assembly line production and improve the supply chain through just-in-time delivery. Supply chain starts right from the supplier to the customer. And now even the customer has this option. If he or she does not like anything about it, they can return it. So it is not that it was not there. Supply chain was always there. But the focus, the integration, and if they have to, it is something like a relay race. In a relay race, if you want to win the race, each participant should have to do not only his best, but also coordinate with the other partners. Coordination is very important. So even this coordination and the optimization of each partner is playing a very significant role in managing supply chain management. Okay, technology is helping, but technology is there for everyone. So how you're using it, how you're producing it, how you're delivering it, all these things matter. Like because of World War II, number of technologies came up. In fact, one operations research, the name itself says operations. So it was for the war operations which they developed these techniques to how to do the best even in your limited resources, how to utilize your resources that you get maximum benefit from it. And later on, once the war was over, they realized that they could use these techniques even for your manufacturing sector and other sectors where you are not manufacturing, but you're producing or you're giving certain services. So these operations are everywhere. And if you are doing it scientifically and you are using mathematical models where like you are taking structured decision, it is a well known algorithm which you are following. And according to that, you are coming to a certain conclusion. So naturally, by doing this, the quality and the cost, both like cost has gone down and quality has improved. And because of that, the whole supply chain has become very transparent. Modern producers are now able to track the inventory from raw materials through production and delivery. Because if something goes wrong in the raw material, then also your produce is affected. Production also you have to see it is done in the right way and it is delivered to the right people at the right time, at the right cost. So all these things, because of the transparency which has come and the emphasis which is being given to supply chain management, the totality which is giving you this advantage which was not there initially. So quality management has become very important today. And because of the statistical quality control, now most of the companies are manufacturers are going for zero defect as far as possible. They should go for zero defect. So we used I'll show you. Can you see it?
Yes, ma'am.
So you say Six Sigma. Six Sigma means what? Like we say, generally things are distributed in this way. This is known as normal curve. Normal curve is symmetric in nature, bell shape. It does not touch the x-axis. For example,
The
if
slide need to be changed. Then you need to change the slide.
Pardon?
Ma'am, the slide is on modern day, is it?
Pardon, I did not get your point.
The slide is you're showing is on modern day. The heading is modern day, right?
Yes, modern day.
Yes. Okay.
So I was talking about the statistical quality control, Six Sigma.
Yes, ma'am.
IoT
Yes.
system and Six Sigma. Six
The
Sigma
third
means,
bullet.
see, it follows this normal distribution. For example, there is a mean, here mean, median, mode is the same. And it is symmetric in nature. Like very tall people, giants and dwarfs are rare. So it is very far from the, either it is on this side or this side. Suppose this is plus and this is minus. Okay? So giants, but you cannot have infinite. So this touches it at infinity. And standard deviation, suppose here mu is the mean, you can say mean, mode, median. So it is same. Here mean, mode, median is the same. And mu is the mean and standard deviation is sigma. And about...
Ma'am, are you drawing it on the whiteboard?
No, I'm drawing on the same...
Oh, we cannot see that actually.
Whiteboard. So you cannot see it.
No, ma'am.
Just wait. Actually, that feature is not there. Whiteboard feature. Well, I can tell you this much. It is a...
Yes, yes, ma'am. Not a problem, ma'am.
Okay. So it is a bell shape and symmetric.
Yeah.
And about 99.37 lies between plus minus 3 sigma. The whole population is 100, but 99%, about 99% lies between. So now we are to increase it. 3 sigma this side and 3 sigma this side, plus minus. So total there are 6 sigma. So almost everything should lie between these two. And if anything goes beyond that, like for example, if you are producing, say, a 40 kg bag of cement, now each bag will not be 40 kg. That is just not possible. Maybe some will be 40.001 kg, some might be 39.999, something like that. But if you take a sample and find out the mean and also the standard deviation and see what is the variation, if it lies beyond that, that means it is out of control. So through this, you can monitor your operation and see to it that things are in between these +2 -3 sigma. That is being used in almost all the organization today. So the quality is under control, and the quality they want, it is being produced. So it started with production management, but the same principle is being utilized even by service industry. And that is why we have, even for, we are using the word operations management. So you can see in operations, every functional area has a role to play. Performances of operations. Finance has, from where to you will get the finance to finance the total operation, and nothing can start without financing. If you don't have the finance, you won't be able to do anything. You have to find the material, you have to find the machinery, you have to give wages to the people. So for all the other resources, technology, mass communication of information is possible. Plus, there are so many software which helps you in decision making. Sometimes the routine work, the decision also can be taken by the machine. So these things are helping you in improving the quality of your product. Then human resource. Naturally, it is the human resource which is handling everything. It provides the suitable staff, organizes training based on the requirement of operation. For example, now you are here, all of you are working somewhere, but you have joined to learn something new. Now, life has become a lifelong process of learning. So many new technology is coming up. You have to be aware of it. You have to be up to date. And especially in this competitive world, if you don't have the skill, after some time you the organization also provides this upgradation. They keep on upgrading. For every time they will not using the new human resource, because again training them and making them fit for the organization will cost them extra money. So it is better to keep on upgrading their human resources as the requirement of the thing they are producing, and what is the competition in the market. All these things they have to realize, and for that they need upgraded and up to the mark human resource. And then engineering assesses new technology and develops solution to problems. Whatever is the problem, why this problem, if it's giving some leakage or some other, or if it is the temperature of some part of the car is rising, some problem is coming. Why it is? What technology should be used so that the if you don't have proper marketing, what will happen? Even if your quality is very good and you have produced it time, if it is not marketed, you won't get the return on whatever you have invested, whether it is material, whether it is knowledge, what skill, whatever you have invested, finance, you have to get the return on it, because the next cycle will not operate. And research and development, because all the time some innovation, some new development in technology, in other fields are coming up. So and again you have to research and develop yourself to find out how to do this particular thing in a much more efficient and effective way. So all these 6 things, research development, finance, information technology, human resource, marketing, engineering, helps you in doing the work for which you are running this organization. Whether you are running it to produce students, or you are a healthcare organization, that means you are producing cured patient, or you are producing some furniture or anything, whether a product or a service, you need all these 6 hands to support you and to make you produce what you are going to produce, the quality at which you are going to produce, the cost at which you are going to produce. Society. So it also has certain social responsibility, and they have the social power. And still, and apart from that, some businesses pollute the environment. So they have to take certain steps to mitigate that. Whatever, for example, mining, they pollute the environment. So they have to take. It is okay. Government has certain rules and regulations which they have to follow. So they have to follow this social responsibility in a very responsible way. And it is not only their life, it is the lives of others, how it is affecting them. So they have to take their social responsibility very seriously. Because see, social business shall operate as an open system. Like you have different type of system. You have open system, you have closed system. Business is an open system. It is interacting with the environment. Closed system means, like very closed system can be, you take some Adivasi who don't interact with anyone, they keep them to themselves, they still follow the old rituals. So it is not that. Business is not that. It is taking inputs from the society and open disclosure of its operation to the public. So it is responsible to the public. It should work for the sustainable development of the public and the nation. So cost benefit analysis. If you're spending so much, what benefits you are getting? That is very important. So they have to see if they're taking input from the environment, what benefit they are giving it to the environment. Then whether they are following ethics, that is, like when we start with strategic planning, we start with vision. Vision means what you're seeing, you want to achieve after, say, 10 years, 20 years, whatever is your goal. Strategic planning, long-term planning. To achieve that vision, you should have a very good value system. Value system means you should be very good at ethics. You're not, because there are so many organizations which start at a very good level, but since they don't have very good value system, ethics, gradually they disintegrate. If you really want to sustain in the long run, ethics, value system should be very strong. Ethics can be defined as concern for good behavior. People feel an obligation to consider not only their own personal well-being, but also that of other human beings. Because we are not living in isolation. Maybe it is benefiting me, but how it is affecting the others, so that also matters. Like there is a golden rule. Do to others as you would have them to do to. You should know what do you expect from others. So you should also do the same to them. In business, ethics can be defined as the ability and willingness to reflect on values in the course of the organization decision-making process to determine how rules and decisions affect the various stakeholder groups. Like, for example, take one example of mining. Okay, that is necessary. But at the same time, if they are one stakeholder is society, if they are polluting the society, and that will affect the plant life, the animal life. So there has to be taken certain steps to overcome that. Suppose you are in paper industry or maybe in furniture industry where plants are being cut down, and if it is being cut down and not the forestation is being revived, what will happen tomorrow? There won't be enough plants for us to survive. Not we will survive, there will be landslides, there will be climate change. So many adverse things will affect us. So we have to think, and while we are doing the operation, how it is affecting. The ethical behavior of the operation should always be taken into consideration. Artificial intelligence chat 4, where you ask for anything and they'll help you. And they can also guide you. So these things are possible because of AI. So even in operations, they are improving efficiency and productivity. How to do things in such a way that you go for minimum wastage and maximum profit at minimum cost. Efficiency and productivity gains are two of the most often cited benefits of implementing artificial intelligence within the enterprise. So it does the planning also for you. It matches the technology. What are your requirements? It can give you suggestions. So all these benefits are there. The technology has really, like for naturally, we have moved from industrial 1 to industrial 4, where all these technologies are helping us to produce the things which we need, which we desire, and which will lead us to sustainable development of our society. The speed of business has is also improved because of digitization. अभी जैसे अब तुम लोग तो इस जनरेशन में ही बड़े हुए हैं, but we have seen, suppose we had to send some money to somewhere, either you send it by money order or you go to the bank and they'll send it to you. The cost was also very high, but now you can sit at home and then at your own space you can do so many jobs because of digitization. The speed has improved and the cost has come down. So these things are also helping in your operation, any operation which you are doing. Like for example, today, if you want to apply something, the application is available. Like for example, as I'm taking the services industry of education, you want to apply because of digitization, the application is available online. You can apply online. It is processed online. You get the information also online. Then what you have to do next, that also you come to know online. SMSs are sent to you. Things are designed in such a way that any alert pops up and then you can take decision. So digitization has improved the speed of any business. And improve monitoring. Because if you don't monitor something, you won't know where things have gone wrong. So monitoring is very important. Operation of any organization. From the day one till the job is finished and delivered to the consumer and consumers have readily accepted it. You have to keep on monitoring. So this information, as I told you, now because of information technology, you can track the whole thing. The manufacturer knows from where your raw material coming, when it is coming, what is the quality of the material, how to track a good vendor or supplier. That also information technology helps in every way. Like, for example, in online, what you do, you order, you process, all is done online. So you know exactly if you ordered a pizza, you know it has started. You can track it, monitor it, how your product is moving, where it has moved, at what time it will come to you, what are the when do you expect. Similarly, in a it has not given you the same effect. So all this technology has given you a better quality and human error is reduced as far as possible. Now, human error, because if suppose you make certain error, there it can also point out to you if there is spelling mistake. So you can adhere to the standards which have been set. And this gives you a better quality and at a cheaper rate. So the goal which you had set, the quality and the cost, is met. Organization can expect a reduction of error as well as stronger adherence to established standards when they add AI technologies to process. According to the Madhu Bhattacharya is the managing director and global leader of Proteus Enterprise Data Analytics. Because today data analytics has become very important. Through data analytics, you know what is the mood of the consumer, what they want, who wants what is their preference. Because of data analytics, so many things are possible now. When AI and machine learning are integrated with a technology like RPA, which automate repetitive rules-based tasks. Like, for example, wherever you are taking structured decision. For example, you take a very simple example. If you're making a bill, now you go to any shop, they will not make it manually. They will either use a calculator or maybe a scanner, which will automatically make your bill. What it does, it is a structured decision. The things which you have purchased, the price, how many you have purchased, they'll multiply it by and then add up the whole total. It is a well-defined way of doing things. So making such decision will become very easy. And even if it is not very structured, semi-structured, it will give you number of alternatives. And then you can choose the best out of it. And it can also help you doing better talent management. AI can help you in your hiring process. Like, what is the communication skill? What are the knowledge the interviewer has? All these things. So it is helping you in every way. The AI is artificial intelligence is helping you in not only your financial matter, if HR matters, marketing matters, and operations. So it is also helping. So AI is playing a very important role in your operations management. Now, for example, now you have got software which can help you write in a better way. Something you were not aware of, you by using these software, it will help you. It will give you ideas, and you can choose from there, and you can make the thing. So similarly, so if when you're hiring someone, if you use AI, you will not only hiring the best possible talent, but also at the least cost. It also helps you in gauging employee sentiment, identify and retain high performers, and determine equitable pay. So these things will improve your productivity. If the workforce is satisfied, they know they are taken care of, their needs are being taken care of. So they'll be more responsible towards their whatever work they are doing. And they'll be also doing their best to produce something of the quality which the market demands. If you have any questions, that is all for today. You can ask me. Hello?
Nothing, ma'am, from my side.
Yeah, nothing from my side too, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Okay,
you can
then
share the PPT with Neeraj sir, na? So you will also get.
I'll post it on the
Or in the WhatsApp you can
WhatsApp.
share.
From there you can share.
Yeah, ma'am. You can put in the WhatsApp group, na?
I'll put it in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, thank you.
Ma'am, your next class would be when?
Even I don't know. Actually, I'll have to ask Neeraj.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, ma'am.
Maybe next weekend.
Next weekend.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay,
Okay.
ma'am. Okay.
Good